Hey, there we go. Welcome back, friends. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, whatever time it might be where you are. Welcome back to the live stream. My name is Jeff Fritz. You might know me as
Jeff.
Yeah, that's me. How's it going out there? Today is December 30th, 2019. We're going to write a little bit of code today. How you doing there, chat room? Good to see you. Jubbin PA is here. Wolfhound Jesse, good morning. Tagaron, good afternoon. Jay Rosegard, good afternoon to you, my friend. Stelzy is here. Eternal Dev Coder. Smab is here. Hello, hello. I am your dungeon master for today because this is a little bit meta that we're doing today. We're going to work on the Asp Net Core Workshop. I've given it once or twice here on stream, but we're going to work on editing it, updating it, so that I'm aiming for the end of next week. I'm aiming for it. If I can get this lined up, it's going to be very quick turnaround. But if I can get this done, we might do the Asp Net Core Workshop, full day workshop, next Friday. It's either going to be next Friday or maybe the Friday after. So I'm looking at either the 10th or the 17th. I don't know. Either way, I got to get the thing updated. So I figured, hey, let's spend some time updating for Asp Net Core 3.1, and let's bring in some of the cool new things that you can do with Asp Net Core into the workshop. And what I expect to talk about today is a little bit of what do you want to learn in the workshop, And then how we meet those educational goals, and then how we build and update demos so that they meet those goals and make it available for everybody. So this is the behind the scenes, let's build something that we're going to use to teach in a future stream. So Eternal Dev Coder says, already looking forward to that workshop. Good. Oh, I'm glad. It's something that I enjoy making and presenting here on stream. You'd love to learn about JWT. Okay. We can, there's a danger around talking a lot about security. Because if you get too far down into the weeds with security, folks start to think, oh, I can write this myself. Don't do that. Don't do that. Because the minute you start trying to write security things, password hash algorithms, password storage locations, password and authentication, transportation information, you need to be re-verified. You need to have everything checked and make sure that you're abiding by good security protocols, because by default, everything does. And when you go in and write your own, well, now you need to be re-verified. And that's some of the trouble that folks get into when they do this on their own. Oh, I'll just encrypt this and save it in the database. No, that's not exactly how it works. It's a little bit more than that. So I want to make sure that we're careful how far we go in. It's okay to talk about how things work, but I don't want to describe too much about how they work, right? Talk about how things work, but don't describe the what and why things work, because that's when folks start to dissect and think, oh, I can do this better than them. I'm really good at this. No. You're right. Your security level is going to go down by 1,000 if you do something like that. So that's where I'd like to go today. How you doing, chat room? Is it easy to implement token authentication? Yes. Actually, that's something that we can show you, and it's already built. It's very easy to wire up and do. Do this and it runs stuff in a magic black box. And that's the way security should be, because if it's a magic black box, that also means the bad guys can't get in there and change things and make it and find the weaknesses, right? So security through a little bit of obscurity is not a bad thing. It's also a question of don't step into poo. Don't step somewhere where you're going to get into problems. How you doing? Good morning, Juan Van. So that's where I'd like to go today. Now, the Asp Net Core Workshop is already available. It's out there and available on the web for you. And I'll show you where this is, and then we'll get some music playing. It's right here. Let me turn that back just a little bit. There we go. At .NET Presentations Asp Net Core Workshop. And I have my own version of this, but I'll set the project here to oh my gosh, GG Feds.
Just resubscribed for 10 months.
Thank you so much for the resub. Appreciate that. Updating the Asp Net Core, updating the workshop for version 3.1 and presentation on stream in January. There we go.
I'm Scott. I'm new here.
Ice Cream Codes, thank you so much for the sub. Appreciate you subscribing there. And we'll make a donation to St. Jude Children's Research Hospital. Work and shopping. Hey, boom, boom. Your two favorite things together. Nice. Nice. So, no, not inspired by Code Rushed. Smab!
Smabook just resubscribed for 13 months. Can't be missing my hat.
And Smab's referring to the little hat subscriber loyalty badge there in the chat room. Yeah, got that rainbow hat with a propeller. Thank you so much, and we'll make another donation. Just like we do for every sub, every cheer, we'll make a donation to St. Jude Children's Research Hospital. Let me get some music playing in the background here. This is music to code by our friend, Mr. Carl Franklin. Scientifically designed, it's engineered to get you in the flow, get you in the groove, so that whatever task it is you're working on, you can get focused and just get stuff done. Today I'm going to play Blue. Today I'm going to download Blue from my OneDrive. See, I cleared my OneDrive. I told it, ignore everything. That, free up space on my drive, and it pushed all this stuff off. Brave Cobra!
Brave Cobra 2 just resubscribed for 14 months. Keep train going.
Keep that sub-train going. Thank you so much. 14 months, and that is tremendous. Thank you so much, and we'll make another donation. There we go. Download complete. There it is playing. Thank you. There we go. So, thank you so much, Carl, for letting us listen to your music here on stream while we write code together. And I hope you enjoy the music we're listening to. Get your copy at mtcb.pwop.com. Or you can execute the music command in the chat room and get that link. Click through and check it out. Thanks so much. Look at that. I got folks clicking unfollow here. I tell you. We are... It's actually 12 now. 12 followers away from the next sticker giveaway. I'm heading to the post office later today. I've got a bunch of stuff to mail out. I'm really excited to send a bunch of stickers out as we get closer and closer to our 10,000 follower goal. Very much appreciate all the support there. Very many followers. Yes, yes. So let's talk about the workshop, what it is, how it's structured, and how we can improve this, how we can get in, and what does making this work for ASP.NET 3.1 look like. I'm going to move my rewards queue over here so I can see that. So the workshop in the way that this currently stands, it sets up to deliver something that looks like a conference website where you have a front-end web application that has all the stuff to paint a website, to make it look good. And that's okay. That's using just standard ASP Net Core, ASP Net Core 2.2, and it has a back-end set of services that's really that series of microservices that you kind of expect in application development these days, that are very focused on doing the CRUD operations, the create, read, update, and delete operations. As a back-end set of services, you have entity framework models, those models that interact with the database, some APIs that you interact with, and you have some data transfer objects that are sent between these two services. Now that's okay. That's pretty simple, pretty straightforward way to do things, and I could just upgrade this and make these instead of .NET Core 2.2 in both of these projects. I could just go and blindly make these .NET Core 3.0. I could do that. But I think there's an opportunity here to do something a little bit more interesting, to bring in some of the new features that we have in ASP.NET Core 3 that I want to talk about with you here in the chat room, because I value your feedback. I want to hear from you. Because in the way that this is currently structured, there's a series, there's our database schema, but there's a series of sessions here that I think we can upgrade, we can up-level, and make it a lot more interesting. Because we have a back-end API and entity framework model that are built here. So we have just standard web API. And we tried to make it open API as well, so that you could browse and see it and interact with it. Part of me would like to make that, up-level that a little bit so that it's open API with ASP.NET Core 3.1, of course. But part of me would also like to put a gRPC service in here that uses the new service worker template. so that we're learning gRPC. We're learning, how to use the new service worker, so that we have some new things that we're learning. We're taking advantage of those new facilities and these new technologies that folks are using outside of ASP Net Core, and that people want to be able to integrate with. People want to be able to do not just .NET web development with, but they want to be able to have that that very multi-disciplinary, multi-language, multi-framework series of applications, platform support. And gRPC is one of those things that really lights that up for folks right now, here in 2019, end of 2019. So I think it might be cool to build a little bit of that. No, we're not going to overcomplicate this. We're going to push one or two services out into a gRPC, I think, into a gRPC service. And part of me would like to turn one of the pages inside the front end. And it says here for the last module to do a SPA front end. Wow, that's great. Let's do Angular for a front end web service. Yuck. I would like to turn the front end into a Blazor client-side single-page application, so that you can get the list of sessions for the conference, as well as be able to click into them and see the speakers, all as a very small, very focused Blazor client-side app as the last part of this. And maybe when we're building here, maybe we build these as components, and we just render those on the screen for each one of these, so that we can just navigate around in this session, and we're just navigating to those other components, and we eventually turn them into a Blazor client-side app further down here, so that you can now as that last piece, see what's involved in pulling those components and making them a full Blazor client-side application. I think that would be fun. I don't want to make it all Blazor, but the idea is we want to keep things simple so that you can learn. And that's where I have a problem with, right? And I'm okay with Angular being at the end after the challenges. Hey, look, you can do this thing. No, that's nice. But it's not the crux. It's not what we're trying to deliver with this. So that's where I think I want to jump in here. Now, this is in the .NET presentations project here. I thought I had the GitHub extensions installed here in my Firefox. Add-ins. I thought, no. Refined GitHub. Yeah. Why isn't it showing? It should show me. I don't see it. It should show that I've forked this repository, and that I have a copy over in the C# Fritz that I've been... there it is. See? Forked from, but it didn't... The GitHub add-on should have shown me that, hey, here's the latest updates over there. Hey, UNT Walker, good to see you. So let's talk through. Let me get a copy of this locally, and it looks like I'm a couple commits behind the original version. So let me grab a copy of this locally here, pull in the updates from the upstream, and push it out here so that we've got that. I think I have this locally. I might have this already locally. Let me take a look-see. I'll open PowerShell, and I probably do, right? This is ASP Net Core App Workshop. ASP Net Core, yep, there it is. All right. Of course. What branches do I have here? I only have the master branch. Okay. What remotes do I have? I just have my remotes. Okay, so I'm going to get the upstream, the original one over here. I'm going to add this as a upstream remote. Get remote add upstream, and I'll add that. Now, what I can do is I should be able to say get pull upstream master, and that should update my local copy here. There we go. Now it's telling me that I have one extra file here, the .vs code folder. Let's oh rats, no. I want to get rid of that. Git ignore .vs. Actually, wait a sec. There is a VS Code folder. Okay. So I do want that VS Code folder. Why didn't it merge it? Oh, it's a VS Code folder up at the top. I don't need this one. Okay. So let's, that was in. So what's nice about this, and this is a model that I like to use for all of the workshops and training applications that I write now, is having these save points that kind of show you what it looks like the whole way through. So I'm just going to delete that VS Code folder that was down there because there's one now at the top. Good. All right. So I'll push these into, now that'll go into my copy on GitHub. There we go. Cool. I'm going to check out my own working branch here for a 3.1 migration. If we look at what's marked here, there are some updates that were done to get this to ASP Net Core 3.0 and .NET 3.0. So let's get that up to speed. Brave Cobra says, I use, what is that? We GitHub IO pull to keep forks up to date automatically. Let's see. Keep your forks up to date. Really? I'm not familiar with this. Let's see. Managing a whole bunch of repos. A GitHub app built with Probot that keeps your forks up to date with upstream via automated pull requests. Neat. Incorporate new changes as they happen, not in 6 months. That's not a bad idea. Just install the pull app. Create a new branch, set up the new branch as your default branch under repository settings branches. Add GitHub pull YAML. Oh, more YAML. More YAML.
Danger's my middle name.
All that YAML. Cool. All right. Let's install it. What's the worst that can happen? Yes, install. Yeah, I agree. Let's keep note of this. I want to install it here. Only select repositories. Ugh. Look at this. A 2016 Pittsburgh.net session. Ugh. See, I don't want to put it down in everything. Let me start with, where'd the ASP Net Core Workshop go? This one. Let me just start there, since that's the one I'm currently working in. And we can add it to other things. Yeah, later. Cool. All right. And I have 2 pull requests currently sitting out here from a while ago. Add command for adding data annotations package back in January. Let's see what this is. Oh, this is just an update to the documentation. .NET add package. I don't see a problem with that. Oh, I thought there would... Wasn't there a way that you could merge these here locally? So YAML is to C# Fritz like Kryptonite is to Rent. Yes. I kind of agree. All of the YAML that's floating all over the place, we're writing script files using markup. And we're using markup that can't be validated. You can't validate that it's the proper format until you pass it through the script parser. You can't. The YAML form. The whole point of YAML is there is no formatting standard for it. So it feels like we're stacking a bad practice on top of a bad practice on top of a really bad practice that we've already proven as recently as 2 years ago we don't like as a technical community. So I don't know why folks keep encouraging the use of YAML, but it feels like we're getting more and more into bad practices. I appreciate that that's the language and that's the format that folks want to use for their technologies. Great. But you're making it really, really difficult for folks to manage easily that. I thought it was dead too. No, it's not. Like, JSON is just on the outskirts of that because I can parse that as JavaScript and I can make sure that it's proper JavaScript. Okay, fine. XML, I can parse as XML. I can run that through something and I can verify that's proper XML. Okay. In any file, that's not easy to do, but there's any file parsers that you can run things through and make sure that it's formatted properly. Not that it has the proper schema, that it's formatted properly. But that's where XML was amazing at this, was you could verify the schema matched what it worked with. And people added schema into JSON, so we have JSON schema now. Is that a good thing? Kinda. Okay. I can live with that. Let me get the command line instructions here. I thought this was going to be easy to do. But YAML, you're toast. And Kubernetes is all YAML. And people think this is amazing. I worry for those folks. You're kidding. Okay. So, curl-capital L. Why doesn't it like curl-capital L? Come on now. Get help. Curl. UNT Walker.
Just resubscribed for 6 months.
Thanks so much for that. I really appreciate the sub. Yeah, -L isn't a thing in PowerShell. Wonderful. Just great. That's wonderful. Why was this changed here? GitHub, you're killing me here. Why did you change this? Why isn't that just a poll? And why are we getting a patch now? I mean, seriously? Yeah. YAML, it is very easy to miss an extra space because the space character, not tab, space character, and not the number of the number of spaces is significant. I agree, Eternal Dev Coder, change is the only constant, but that doesn't mean we have to make stupid changes. Learn from our past. Stop making stupid changes. Oh, this is convenient. Look at this. No! Convenient is not a reason to change something from something that's regimented and works very, very well. More productive, better functionality. That's a reason to update. Zoltra Lord!
Zool Trail or just resubscribed for 7 months. You're awesome, Fritz.
Oh my gosh. Thank you so much.
You're amazing. You figured this all out already.
Yes. Yes, I did. Thank you so much for that. We'll make another donation to St. Jude Children's Research Hospital. That's easily fixed with decent IDEs and a linter. You're not wrong. However, that also means I have to use an IDE and not just a text editor, which is the whole reason that some of the folks say, oh, why, this is why YAML is better. We can just do this in the text editor. I really don't like this here. I really, 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 really don't. What is this? Patch. What did they do here? They changed this section entirely and now it doesn't work on Windows. Thanks so much. So checking out creating a new branch, I want to pull in the contents. And I understand why the curl-L is here. It's trying to say, go get just the contents of this patch. Why one.patch? What is that? Oh. Patch. And it's here as an email. I do have a bad feeling about this. I mean, I'm trying to do this the appropriate GitHub way. Did they do this to all the pull requests? Command line instructions. No, it's a git pull. Why didn't it have... Wait a sec. And there's a... Okay, so this is because there's a merge issue there. Thank you for the follow. Masta of Pasta. Yeah, a git breakdown again, right? Yeah, why doesn't it have the other options here? And... honestly, this is a documentation change. I'm just going to copy it in. All it added was this. So I'm going to go into, this is docs2, and just patch it myself. Let me open that in Visual Studio Code. You purchased music to code by it, really seems to be working, says Ultralord. Oh, fantastic! Thank you for sharing. I'm glad you're enjoying it. Has extension recommendations? No. Okay. So this is down at about line 34. Add a reference to this. It's already there. And it actually references 4.6. Is it in the master branch? Yeah, it's there. So, you know what? Well, there's clearly the conflict. So what I'm going to do is... this was fixed on another branch. Just close it. Okay. Go back. Add note to place app run after app use MVC. Let's see what this is. From Lance Lee. You'll need to place this after the use MVC statement. This is in docs 1 create backend API project. Sounds legit. Alright. And I can just merge that directly. Thank you. Appreciate that. All right, so I've got all my pull requests cleaned up. Git init Fritz breakdown. No. Could be that the repo is no longer there. Could be. That's definitely a possibility. Since it has been more than 6 months. All right, moving on. All right, so let's take a look at the project itself. I'm going to close Visual Studio Code and open it in Visual Studio 2019 preview. So this is 16.5 preview 1. Now, you know what? Let me start with it in VS Code. Maybe that's not a bad place to be. Right? Conference Planner solution is here. Yeah, let's open it here. And we can take a look back and forth at the documentation and at the sample code. So the final source of the application is here under source. This is what your result application is going to look like. So there's backend, and here's the backend project file, and it's NetCore App 3. So it has been updated to .NET Core 3. Let me see the recommendations, what it wants me to install here. IntelliCode. Why isn't IntelliCode installed? SQL Server, Azure App Service. Sure, I'll install all of these. What are you doing here? No. Don't ask again. But it's going to ask me again. I know it is. That's what it does. We'll install all 3 of those. Sure. And it's parsing and starting to tell me what's going on with all these files. Nice. Let's take a look at the documentation. We're going to create a new project, blah, blah, blah. So I feel like the first thing that I should do is upgrade the projects to .NET Core 3. .NET Core 3.1, right? Rating YAML is so nice. No, it's not. It's too easy to make a mistake. Because you can't see that you're making mistakes, because literally white space is a thing. Okay, .NET New Web API, good. This is all fine. Creating a backend application project, that's fine. This, add reference to the NuGet package, Microsoft Entity Framework Core SQL Server. And add references to SQLite. I think these both should be 3.1. So let's confirm that. Wait a sec. We'll start there. 3.1.0. So we can update this to 3.1.0. Let's check the SQLite. Okay. So this is where the SQLite version is, 3.1. This way, when you're working with the sample, you can target a database either in Microsoft SQL Server or just in a little SQLite database locally. That works. That's fine. Okay, application DB context. Microsoft Entity Framework Core Tools. Let's make sure that's a 3.1 version. Oops, didn't delete the last character. And 3.1, so let's grab that one. .NET install tool .NET EF, and that should be 3.1. Commands explained. I like this. Why is it showing the weather forecast sample? Oh, there are YAML validators? Really? I didn't think... Oh no, that... Does that come with the default project? I do have a test there. .NET new. Let's see what it looks like when we create a .NET new web API. Because it says down here, the weather forecast controller. So I'm going to create a new web API project, now put it into the test folder here. I want to take a look at what's in there. Yeah, just don't write mistakes. That's the best way to build applications. Just don't write mistakes. Oh, there is a weather forecast. Really? Okay. Oh, this is the random weather forecast controller. Instead of showing just random string, hello world string in here, it's now showing a weather forecast object, so it formats as JSON. Okay, that's not bad. All right, they updated the template. Now I know where that's coming from. Okay. Scaffolding an API controller. This is fine. We're going to build that first one. .NET ASP Net code generator. Yeah. Right, let's make sure this is 3.1. Right. It's not going to like the space up front. I thought I got it. 3.1. Good. .NET ASP Net code generator. Yep, I know that is. Swashbuckle. Swashbuckle ASP Net Core. What version are we on there? I don't like having an RC in the middle of this. Let's see. Oh no, it's RC5. I mean, we're on a preview release, so I guess... Actually, no, that's not listed as a preview release. I mean, even though it has the extension there, right, you need to specify. Alright, we'll just... You need to specify that it's a preview, that it's okay to install. A wild weather gRPC service? Nah, we're not going to do the weather gRPC service. We'll put something else behind gRPC. Adding controllers into that. Yeah, I think that's all the same. And this is making the weather forecast. And it wants to create a speaker here. And it creates... See, alright, I have a problem with putting a fictional character like this in there because you're opening yourself up for copyright comments. So, I'm gonna... I think I want to replace this with somebody else who's not real, so that we can have an appropriate, have it not come back and hurt us here at some point. MVH XMMD. Sherlock Holmes' open domain, says Krasner. That's not a bad idea. If that's the case, then that might be easy to put in here. You're asking a business question there, MVH, that I don't know about your agreement. But it is perfectly fair if you have an agreement, something written that says that this is your roles and how you cooperate to build a company. And I'm purposely not putting your message up on the screen here because this is personal to you, and it's not germane to what we're talking about or any of the technologies that we're building. But if you have an agreement with those folks in writing, you can control whatever you'd like. And there are way too many answers to that question. If you're running into a challenge of some sort, I would suggest consulting a lawyer, and because what is legal, what is appropriate, varies by locality. What's appropriate here in my part of the United States is different in California, is different in Canada, is different in the UK, is different in India. So don't feel guilty about what you own and what you deserve. Yes, agreed, Krasner. Get things in writing when you start doing business like that. And a lawyer is worth it at that point. Yep. So, and if you're at a point where there's only 3 of you and you're going across country borders, you've introduced a ton of overhead and legal questions that are going to be difficult to manage at this early date. Because how you hire, how you work with, collaborate across international borders can get very tricky very quickly. Public domain characters, right? Best public domain characters. Greek mythology, Robin Hood, there's one. Zorro, Dracula, Sherlock Holmes, yeah, okay. Frankenstein's monster, the Scarecrow, Dorothy Gale. Dorothy Gale's another good one. Alice from Alice in Wonderland. Doodle? Man of War, Dr. Jekyll, Mr. Hyde, Hercules. Natty Bumppo, The White Rabbit, Paul Bunyan, Long John Silver. Firehair? King Arthur, there's another good one. Okay. So, I'd like to swap this out with... let me put in Dorothy Gale. Because I think when we teach things, in order to keep things a little bit less intimidating for folks, instead of having a character that's all knowing, all smart, by having somebody who's a little bit simpler, a little bit friendlier, kind of lowers the bar a little bit. The Headless Horseman is open? No. Hey, Son Ergonol, good morning. I think we're going to have a very nice stream today. You're not sure you should have given 30% to both of them. Well, if you already have things in writing, changing it at this point is going to be tricky. Good luck with that. Orphan child from Kansas made several trips to the land of Oz. Amateur meteorologist. And Oz aficionado. Aficionado. Is that how you spell aficionado? That's better. Okay. What's her website? Let's see. Let's do that. No. That's good. Oz fandom. Oh, here, even better. We'll link to Wikipedia. Fantastic. Last chance to donate. There we go. When you click the try it out, so we need to generate a new image here for what this looks like. Svava!
Svava Blound just resubscribed for 15 months.
Thank you so much for that. We'll make another donation to St. Jude Children's Research Hospital. Whirlwind Tours. Oh my goodness. Is there a Whirlwind Tours website? There actually is 4D Whirlwind Tours. Amateur meteorologist, Oz aficionado, and lead tour guide, and lead guide for Whirlwind Tours of Kansas. Okay. So we're going to need to update some images there. That's okay. But at this point, we've still taught our viewers, our workshop participants, how to build that first back-end service website, and we've put our first speaker into this. Alias Judy Garland. Who else played her? Somebody else has played her as well. A couple somebodies have played her. But for now, just having the link go to that Wikipedia is fine. So, and it's right. It's better than having a character that's known for being alcoholic. To be perfectly honest. So I like updating that a little bit there. Yeah. Is she just becoming Helen Hunt? That's a great comment. Oh my goodness. Is Dorothy Gale, is she just becoming Helen Hunt in the movie Twister? Well played, Covomalia. Well played. I salute you. Well done. I like that one. I like that one a lot. So we may have to update the images in here. That's okay. We'll, and Sherlock Holmes, yeah. Sherlock Holmes wasn't so much known for being a junkie. He was. Like, his cocaine addiction comes out in a couple of the stories, but it's not front and center like it is with I mean, Tyrion Lannister is an alcoholic, is a womanizer, not a very good person. So to swap him out with somebody who's an innocent little girl who gets carried away to the magical land of Oz. Hang on, I didn't say that right. Who gets carried away. I can do this. I can do this.
to the magical land of Oz. See, now the whole gimmick is... It's gone. It took too long. Thanks, Jeff. Way to go. Shh.
If I can't drop into goofy, funny voice changer mode here quickly, it's a pain in the neck. My goodness. Always favorite part of writing blog posts or presentations. Little things like creating JSON objects. Charts that show 1337. Ruined. I know Threnan, right? Look at this. I keep running into my microphone now because I got two microphones over. Tyrion is a saint compared to the other Lannisters. He is. He is. You're right. So just at this point, we've just updated the versions of things. Now, the side of this is we have the solution file and everything here for the project already saved, sitting out here with file names and all the good stuff for how the application should look at the end of this. Let's go through and make this migration, make this thing look appropriate now. Honestly, compared to like 90% of ASO IAF characters, you need to help me with that acronym. A Song of Ice and Fire. Whew. I see. I deciphered that. I got it. I figured it out. Yes. Where is it? I know I have it here somewhere. Yes. No, it's not over there.
You're amazing. You figured this all out already.
I did, Hans Gruber. I did. Make sure you check out. We did, 'Twas the Night Before Die Hard. Last week? Read that on stream, and it was so much fun. We had a great time with that. So, let me go through now and actually do this part of the workshop. Then I'll do it over here. Making sure that everything works. And this is one of those hard things about writing. Kind of like our friend, the bald-bearded builder there. Thank you so much for joining us, Michael Jolly. Good to see you. And he's another one of the live coders. This is one of those things that you got to do is make sure that your instructions work, right? So I just want to delete everything here. Can I do that? I can't. What do you mean it's in use? In use my foot. Tell you what I'm gonna do. Teach you. Alright, so .NET new. Right, so it wants me to do .NET new solution to create a solution. Create folder conference planner. Alright. So, conference planner. .NET new solution. Yeah. There it is. .NET new web API inside the folder. Oh, wait. Hang on. .NET new SLN. Create a subfolder called backend. Okay. .NET new. Well, it wants me to do that in the folder. That's fine. .NET new web API. Do that here so it creates this. Okay. And now add the project using .NET solution add blah blah blah. So I'll we should do this in the root from the conference planner folder. right? That feels a little bit more clearer on what we're doing here. And I'll execute the exact command there. Good. Add a new models folder to the root of the application. To the root of the backend folder. To the backend folder, right? It's like not clear. I want to be in the backend folder and add a new models folder. Let's say to the backend project. What do you think, chat room? Right. So models, there it is. Add a new speaker class using the following code. Add a new speaker class inside the models folder. Is there a .NET new class to get me that initial class? Class library. A templated class file. No. No, I don't see it. Okay. So, notepad speaker.cs. Yes, please create a new file. Okay. Add a reference to the NuGet package 3.1. This can be done from the command line using .NET add package. From the command line, in the backend project. Right, I'm trying to make sure that that's very clear, which project things are happening in, which folder that you're in. This can be done from the command line using, and this should work. Robert Tables is here. Good morning, my friend. Hello, hello.
Greetings, my excellent friend.
It's good to see you. Robert Tables and the Bald-Bearded Builder, they're members of the Live Coders team. Great to see you, my friends. Let me see who else is here. Did I miss? Zultralord's another member of the team. F. Boucheros. There's Frank. He's a member of the team as well. Make sure you check them out. Raimo is here. Hello, hello. Right? I'm blanking here. Raimu's a member of the team, aren't you? Do I have that right? Yeah, there it is. Good to see you. Hello, hello. I've looked at and I've approved every member of the Live Coders team, but now there's so many folks that I'm second guessing some of the most recent 30 or so folks that we've added. Like, wait a sec, I haven't seen them that much. Are they a member? I don't know. He is now. Okay, so that added the SQL Server reference, and it did add the 3.1. Good. So we'll make sure that this one works, so that we can add the SQLite. Let's say from the command line in the backend folder, let's put some backticks around that. No. Okay. So we added SQLite. There it is. All right, we'll create a new Entity Framework DB context, create a new Application DB context class in the models folder using the following code. Good. All right, I'm happy with that. Notepad, application DB context, CS. Okay. Add a connection string to app settings JSON file for this database. Notepad. Nope, wrong one. There we go. This. There it is. Okay. Register the DB context services. Add the following code to the top of the configure services method in Notepad.js. Hang on. That's ugly. Let me fix that. Okay. Better. Startup.js. Okay, so Notepad, Startup.js. And I'm purposely doing this in Notepad. Backtick and app settings JSON file. Gold Pravan. Hello. I'm doing well. Is there a problem in the app settings? Do I have a backtick somewhere in here? I don't see one. I think I'm okay. No, we're good. We're good there. No backticks. Over here in the startup, it wants me to add inside of configure services. So this is where the dependency injection is done for our Asp Net Core application. So I'm just going to paste that in right there. So if we are on Windows, use SQL Server, otherwise use SQLite. Good. Configuring EF migrations, add a reference to the NuGet package. Install the package from the command line. In the backend folder. Okay. Make sure that works. Is it worth learning PowerShell? Yeah. Nope, no Notepad reward. I'm bouncing back and forth, and I'm purposely using Notepad so that I'm doing exactly what it says here, and I'm not picking up and inadvertently doing some additional things that Visual Studio would suggest. So, in the Markdown, you tend to backtick file names. Where? Oh, you're suggesting like here. That's not a bad idea. Good catch. Thank you, Brave Cobra. That way the file names show up as highlighted, and that they're actual code. It's actually what you need. So we just finished configuring. We didn't configure the migrations. We added the Entity Framework Tools package. Oh, let me get rid of that. I don't need this right now. Run the following commands in the Package Manager console. That's if we're on Visual Studio. If we're on the command line, install the Entity Framework Global Tool .NET EF using the following command in the backend folder. Is it? Yeah. It's already installed. Fantastic. Open a command prompt, navigate to the project directory. Okay. Run the following commands at the command prompt. .NET build. Make sure that it builds. Come on. You can do it. Typer namespace application DB context could not be found. I thought we just saved that. Application DB context. Namespace backend.models. Oh, this is devious. This. What do you see what happened here? And this is the type of thing that I hit right away. Where'd that startup go? Here. This code is wrong. Because it doesn't have the namespace. Runtime information does not exist. This. Because we don't have the appropriate using statements. So, without opening Visual Studio, right, where is runtime information? Isn't it like system.environment? System runtime interop services. No, that's not where it is. I thought it was system.environment. Fretya, hello. User 123075. Hello, welcome. Now, runtime information is somewhere else. I thought it was like, right? Interop services. I thought it was in like, I thought it was like environment, right? It is, oh, okay. I guess that's the one we want. System runtime interop services. So here, if I make that change, now I've got 3 errors. OS platform does not exist. OS platform dot. So it's down here. Thank you for the follow, user 123075. Welcome. Yeah, the here we're up against having this again. Can I throw a using statement above this? Right? What happens if I put a using literally right there? I've never tried putting a using statement further down than the top couple rows. Still doesn't like it. So there's a couple things that we're... I mean, if I put that in there, right? The using statements, 2 using statements would fix it, but now I'm at DB Context Option Builder for uSQL Server and uSQLite because it doesn't know what those are. So what I want to do, and you're right, it's actually 3 using statements because backend.models doesn't exist either. So if I get rid of this, right? And this is just one of those assumptions that folks make when they write documentation. Oh, you're using Visual Studio. It'll just tell you what to do. So let me open Visual Studio Code in this folder. The code does get very ugly if I were to fully qualify those. You're right. So let me let this start up, activating extensions. Come on. It should start choking on some of these things in here. So we got the OmniSharp Flame there. It is running. It should start showing me some of these things. Yes, sure, go ahead. There we go. Right? There's the first using statement. Next using statement for the interop services. Next using statement. That should take care of both of those. So there's... Where did it put them? It was this one, and that one. So let's add an appropriate element here. When we say update, here we go. Ensure the following using statements are at the top of the startup CS. Let's put some backticks on that file to allow the references in our code to work. Okay. So it was this one. That one. That one. Makes sense? Otherwise, we're going to end up with folks not being right. Oh, it doesn't work. Well, you don't have the using statements. Make sure you don't leave any unused using statements in a workshop file. Yes. So when I save and commit this and I say, this is the version you should be using, I'll clean up those extra ones, those extra using statements. Because they do get to be a little... Right, some of these other ones out here, right, they're a little silly. I also like to have these in... Well, system does kind of belong at the top. The rest of them should be in alphabetical order. Okay, so configure EF migrations. Let's close that. .NET add package entity framework tools. Did we already do this? I can't remember. We'll do it again. Cool. .NET tool install. Yeah, we did do this. And we were at the .NET build, and that's when it choked on me. .NET EF migrations, add initial. And we're going to fix the markdown lint issues. I mean, blanks around fences I'm okay with. We can fix them later. Just get the content working for now. Undo this action, EF migrations removed, so we now... The EF Core Tools version is older than that of the runtime. Update the tools. I thought I just did. Didn't I just do that? It's already installed. Is there a force on that? No. Is there a .NET tool uninstall? Get rid of that older version. I don't see it. Gasta OSS. Hello, hello. Update it. That's what I just tried to do. .NET tool install with the version number explicitly defined. And yeah. Is there a command to update it? No. I don't. Oh, okay. .NET tool update. So if we change that. .NET tool update -G, .NET EF. I can specify the version. Oh, there is no force. There we go. Cool. All right. And that said it just did update it. .NET EF database update. Build started. Yeah. Build succeeded. Good. That's a good start. Done. I love how verbose it is. Done. I'm done. That's all you need. There might be just a little bit of lag. We haven't dropped any frames, so we're good. All right, so it explains the commands there. That's fine. Blah, blah, blah. We're okay. Quick look at the weather forecast controller. That's still in there, right? So I should be able now to go here. Why am I not getting... Right, I should have gotten... Where's the other... Didn't I have it? This one. Oh, let's see. Controllers, weather forecast controller. So, oh, it's just at the root controller. All right, fine. We'll get rid of the API. There it is. All right, so it works. Okay. So at this point, it still works, right? It still does the code that I expect. So, so scaffold at the command line, install the package, .NET add package, blah, blah, blah. So next is this one. Asp Net Code Generator, version 3.1. Yes, we will make sure that it's the latest version. Oh, spelled update wrong. There it goes. What's with the hype? Love the hype. Successfully updated from preview 5 to 3.10. Good. Close and reopen the console window to be able to use this tool. I'd like to think that. Fine. So, dev tests. Okay. .NET ASP.NET Code Generator Controller API name blah 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 blah. Do it. See what that works. This is Lynx asks, can I buy Bitcoin using Fritzbits? No, but you can make my development life a living hell if you'd like. You can make it challenging for me. Make things a little bit more interesting. Added controller, speakers controller. Fantastic. Testing the API using Swashbuckle. Using Swagger. So let's add this. What? No. There we go. So, added swashbuckle. Look at all the goodies. Backend depends on swashbuckle 500RC. I forgot to copy the 5. There we go. Done. All right. Add swashbuckle services in your configure services method. Now, here's going to be another one where we're going to need some using statements, I bet. Let me go back. So, in your configure services, after add controllers, it wants this. See, look, there's another one. Microsoft Open API models. Yeah, it's jumping right past the using statement. Ensure your startup CS file contains the following using statements. Okay. And we'll add some more to that. So these go just before use routing. Well, now it's not use. Well, if I put it here, is that the appropriate place? In 3.1. We'll find out. Lily Hazel, hello. You love the hat? You love the D&D hat? Yeah, this is the meta stream. Okay. Due to middleware and pipeline, you'll want to place this before the app use endpoint statement. Add a redirect to the end of the pipeline that redirects to the Swagger endpoint. Before the use endpoints. All right. Oops. There we go. And yep, we're missing task reference using system threading tasks. Using system threading tasks. Okay. Okay. Run the application, browse to the Swagger UI at, let's do it, .NET run. Let's see what happens. No. Did I didn't save that. Rats. Come on now. Is it working? Did it start?
It's alive!
It is. So let's see. If we go to localhost 5001, it routes us right into our Swagger API. Look at that. Speakers and weather forecast. Oh, Brave Cobra, go ahead. Have some fun with that. Now, did it ever tell me to remove the weather controller? Right? Did it ever say to remove that? Oh no, it says, all right, to keep it in there. In the speaker section, click on the post button. And we're going to create Dorothy Gale, because we changed that. So we're going to Click in the post. Okay, yeah. Right, and where is it? Try it out. That's what I'm looking for. I'm going to paste that in and say, right. Execute. Server response was 200. My goodness. It's a 200 with a bunch of junk in here. 200 success. Okay, I guess it's right. The newish graphical... What? Wait, what? You love that the Swagger UI hasn't changed from the OG Twitter bootstrap from like 2010. You know what? It works, so why change it? You want to try WPF with PowerShell, says Taser. Why? That WPF and PowerShell don't mix like that. They're two different things. Okay. So if I go to get here and try it out, we should see. See, now I'm getting a response here. Oh, you know what? It's not going to get it because it never goes. Yeah. It can't actually get to the API. Because the route endpoint isn't here. T-Tutco!
Titco just resubscribed for 4 months. Hey, all. Don't have time to stick around but wanted to make sure I came in and resubbed.
Oh, thanks so much.
Holidays.
I appreciate you taking a few minutes and coming in. Appreciate that. I think this should actually be... So, this feels like a mistake. Mistake? Feels like an issue in the documentation. I'd really rather the app run so that it forces you to the Swagger. Right? I'd really not rather have you go to this at all. Right? To force that. That feels weird. Restocks!
Restocks just resubscribed for 2 months.
Thank you so much for that. Appreciate the sub. So, right now, if you go just to the root of the website, it doesn't go anywhere. Right? I have to tell you specifically to go to /swagger, but I can actually click, and this will return, right? Success and all this other stuff. And it didn't actually post earlier. It failed at the post earlier, right? Even though it said 200, because it never got to the post API, right? Here, let me do this again, right? Copy out Dorothy Gale. Execute. Okay. So now I got it. Now I got a 201, right? Remember, before we got a 200 and it came back because it didn't actually post anything. If I go back up here, right, it posted, but it got forced into the Swagger endpoint. Now if I do the get up here, now I get a 200 and I get Dorothy Gale being returned. So it didn't properly route there for me. WinForms crashes because of a memory leak. Highly disagree, Taser. Highly disagree. And I'm kind of agreeing, Kabazi. I think you have a good idea there. Let's map a get to get folks started here. It's not a bad idea. I like what you're thinking, Kabazi. We can say endpoints map. Right, map get, and what this does is we can say match this pattern and instead go do something else. So if you request the root of the web application, the slash, the top of everything, the request delegate. So what I want to say is I'm going to redirect you. I'm going to do a request response. I'm going to redirect, and I'm going to push you to Swagger. Was it Swagger Index? Let me just go to /Swagger. Right? Is it? I want to do that. How can I do this? This should be just like one line, right? Or right, if I do that, I can put a semi at the end of here, and I can say return task, complete a task. Alright, so now if I rerun, is it the context that it's passing in? Yeah, it is a context. Alright. Let's change that to context. Here, I'm thinking it's the request that it's mapping. It's the context. Okay. So that is restart. And if I just go to 5001, it routes me to Swagger Index HTML, and I can still do my get. Try that out. And that works. Sidranyi, welcome, and let me know if I'm pronouncing that right. Greetings from Ghana. Well, thank you. Welcome in. Welcome, and please, I did pronounce it correctly. Sidranyi, welcome. Thanks so much for tuning in here on this fine Monday. I hope you're having a great day there. So let's, and thank you, Kabazi, for the feedback there. That was really a really good piece of feedback. Let's add the endpoints map get inside of here so that we're doing something that's a little bit more ASP Net Core 3.1. So let's update over here and go back. So right here we've got this note, and this feels kind of clumsy to put this app run in here. So I want to get rid of this. I don't like that. That feels clumsy, that note in the middle of the documentation. Let's add a map get to the pipeline that redirects requests from the root of our application to the Swagger endpoint. Add up to the use endpoints statement in the pipeline. What do you think? And the P isn't capitalized. To the beginning of the, so now if I can copy this out directly here, and let's just replace this, back that up a little bit. What do you think, chat room? Does that look better? Ashish, let me make sure I'm saying this right. Ashish Singh Bagel, welcome. Good to see you. So I think that's a little bit more descriptive of what it is that we're doing here. And we'll update images later. So I hope everything now should run properly. Looks great. I hope so. I think so. Let's see. So now if I go localhost 5001, it just goes directly to this. That's great. And if I say get and I specify, well, let's try it out. Specify ID as 1. I should get And there's little Dorothy Gale. Fantastic. Okay. That's not bad, right? I feel better about this sample because it's now updated for ASP Net Core 3.1 and feels a little bit more realistic, right? Feels like we've got some of these things configured a little bit nicer. Let me just force the format on that. Fine, I'll do that myself. Back that up. Let me get rid of the extra using statements here. Because from the comment we had earlier, extra using statements in a file for training like this, for teaching, is distracting. Right? We want to make sure that this is real easy for folks to learn from. Good. All right. So I think I have the source for the first module done and working and built properly. Let me grab this folder from my test folder where I was working, and I'm going to open another. There we go. I'm going to open directly to the workshop, and I'm going to save for the save point. Let me just copy both of these and paste it into there. And that's an upset doggy, which means that a delivery person is here. 11 files with the same name. Sure, get rid of them. Replace them. I'm going to delete the VS Code folder over here, as well as the bin and obj folders. I don't need those. Bye-bye. But I think now, right, in chat room, please keep me in check here. I think we're in a much better place for the current state of this, right? Git status. Controllers, weather, yep, the weather forecast controllers there, my new migrations, and we also deleted, well, I didn't delete the other migrations, we should delete those, the older ones. Yeah, okay, so let's do this first. Go ahead, you just put it down.
Oh, I didn't know if you wanted to change this to an unboxing.
It's an upset doggo because my Christmas present arrived. Yeah, put it down. I'll unbox it in just a second. Let me finish committing the source code. Thank you. That was Mrs. C Sharp Fritz, if you heard her. Let's do this. I'm going to change this to, let's call this, create a new branch here called Feature Update 3.1. Okay. Add all these changes. No. Add all these changes. And updated. Make sure that my. Yep, the doc is okay. Updated module 1 for ASP Net Core 3.1. Cool. And I'll push that to my local copy here. You make me sad. What? There we go. I thought I just added everything. Signing failed. Where'd you see signing failed? I mean, it never prompted for it. Oh, look at that. Okay. So we installed yeah, there it is. So we installed a YubiKey. Let me see. Maybe... There it is. Now what did I make my pin? There, now it's signed. There we go. Now it's pushed out. Yep, that was Cleopatra. So I had to reseat, but my machine had gone to sleep over the weekend. Very cool. All right, so now I've got my updates out here on GitHub. As I'm working through this, and I'll finish this up, and I'll go through and update the other modules, and send this over. What is Cleopatra? Is the question. Cleopatra is a plugin for GPG for Windows. This is an app that runs that allows me to manage my PGP keys, GPG keys, and sign and use smart cards like my YubiKey to sign all of my commits that I send out to GitHub. So if we take a look at the commit here, we should say, yeah, it's verified because I signed this. And here's my friend John Galloway. This is verified because he signed this commit. So yeah, it's a PGP key manager. Very cool. All right, so my Christmas present arrived. So yeah, I ordered an Oculus Quest the other day, and it arrived literally. These things are back ordered till February, but I went and ordered it from one of the third-party sellers, and I ordered it on Saturday, and it arrived this morning. So I'm a little concerned that is it what it says it is? And right, did I get scammed? So I think we're going to change to an unboxing stream here. I don't have an overhead camera that I can switch to, but I can switch to this camera. I don't want to show my address, but there it is. It's from Spokane, Washington, where they said it was. So this is I don't have a knife here, do I? No, but you know what I do have? I have a pen, and I can use a pen to cut this open. So,
oh my.
Right? Let's see. Yeah, third party can buy out the entire stock, force it to be back ordered, and then charge whatever they want. So I did pay a little bit extra because, darn it, I wanted a Christmas present for myself. And, it looks like it. So, I don't know. Let's see. Ah, there it goes. Sure looks legit. There it is, the Oculus Quest. So my friends, and this is the 128, this is the one that I ordered. VR headset, 2 touch controllers, AA batteries. It runs on AA batteries? Yep, it's a VR headset. I've never done VR before, and folks are folks always say, "Oh my gosh, why you haven't done VR? Look at what you do, who you work for. You've never done VR. You've never used a HoloLens. When the heck would I use those things?" Not a Stream Deck. That's because I've got 4 Stream Decks in front of me. 4. Yeah, and I gave one away too. I gave one to that John Galloway. So, how do I open this? It's not clear exactly where the edges are. So, I am not used to doing this. If I get one more Stream Deck, Robert Tables is driving to Philly and staging an intervention. Just for that, I'm going to start up the Stream Deck mobile on my phone. For you, my friend, alright? No, I actually have more Stream Decks than I do keys. More Stream Deck keys than I do keys on my keyboard. I develop games, but I don't play games. No, work. Yeah. Work is a thing. So... this looks like it's a drawer? Is that right? There it goes. Alright. Ooh, it's got this O logo on it. Do I have the Stream Deck XL? Yes. Robert Tables and I both collect keyboards, just different types. Yes. Not only do I have the Stream Deck XL, I have the regular Stream Decks, and I have the Stream Deck Mini. So, the lid slid off. And now I've got a pile of boxes next to me here. And there it is. Thank you for the follow, Arago. Welcome. So, there's the 2 controllers here in the middle. And those are... right? I think... oh, you're supposed to hold them this way, not that way. Because there's a thumbstick on each one. An X and a Y. Oh, A and B is here on the left. Can you see that? A and B. Buttons inside there. And X and Y are on the inside of this one. Okay. Oh, and it says left and right on them, and I'm holding them backwards. Okay. Right? It says left and right. See the L and the R. So, for those of us that speak English but don't know exactly what we're talking about here. How much? You can see the price online. I'm not going to brag about price here. Why are they designed like that, round circles? I thought it was because they're casting some sort of a light that the headset sees. I thought that's what it was. Yes, we transitioned to unboxing. So, and the actual headset itself. So there's cameras, right, around the outside. And that's where it's seeing those handheld devices, right? And there's a thing here that says, before you start, install the Oculus app. Now, I have an iPhone, so I'm going to be installing this on my my iPhone. But I'm not even going to do that yet. I want to see what else is here. So there's another box here that has, looks like a USB-C charger, because it's got a USB-C in the back there, which makes sense. If this is, I mean, right, this is effectively an Android phone, a high-powered Android phone that's strapped to your face. There's a charging cable, okay. And this is... oh, spacers so that you can wear glasses and still have this thing strapped onto your melon. Alright. Right? Am I the only one that still calls your head the melon, your melon? Right? You gotta put the... whatever. It's a powerful set of sunglasses. That's better. How's that? An iPhone that's strapped to your face. That's effectively what it is. Actually, it's an Android device, I think. Strapped to your head. Okay, so there's that thing. We'll look at this. So there's this other little thing that was sitting here in the middle. It's got a couple of AA batteries in it. And the Oculus Quest Safety and Warranty Manual. Can you read that? Get that up close. There you go. Focus! I turned off the focus. What am I thinking? And the other one here is the reference guide. Alright. So I don't have room here to get this set up and all running. And show it off because I have no idea what I'm doing. But this is going to be my, the rest of my morning, early afternoon here is getting all the things plugged in and set up and charged appropriately. I'm very excited to try this out. Like I said, I've never done virtual reality. So it's something I'm excited to try out. And we have a bunch of folks on the Live Coders team that are doing VR or 3D games and things. And I want to be able to try their games in 3D space. I think that would be very cool to do. Hey, Mary Jo Stabler. Hello, hello. VR 3D. It's like I can touch you. I know. Facebook plans to have their own operating system eventually, says Covamalia. Not surprised by that. I'm not surprised by that at all, because like I said, this is an Android device that, yeah, customize it, take out some of the other Android things that you don't want it to be doing, right? I also got a bunch of hat racks for all my hats, because each one of these carries 18, and I've got more than 36 hats. So we're going to be covering the walls with hat racks here later today. That'll be fun. So, very cool. I'm so excited to try this. Can you stream from a VR headset? Yes. So, a friend of mine, Cotton Smiles, you see him sometimes hanging out in Fierce Kittens stream. He's also hangs out in Imperial stream. He runs his own. He plays Beat Saber a lot here on Twitch, and you can see him playing Beat Saber in front of a green screen, but it's also superimposed over what it looks like inside the game. It's really, really cool. So, and there's, I literally have no idea what I can do with all the things besides play games on the headset. So I'm excited to just explore and see what it's all about. But, so far, I wasn't, I wasn't scammed, right? I ordered and got what I expected, so I'm very excited to try this out. Yeah, see, Ashish, I hadn't done VR either, so this is an expensive thing to learn about here. And I asked some questions from folks, some of the folks that I know and respect on Twitter. Hey, what's involved? I understand that it's easier to get started with VR. What should I try? What should I check out? Two Wolf suggests coding streams in VR, Matrix style. Maybe, if that's a thing. I don't know. And that's another reason why I chose the Quest, because I have controllers and, like, it's a portable headset. I could put this on a plane, which is going to look weird, but I could wear it on a plane. So I don't know. Lone Echo is the best VR game for Oculus, it says Conficient. I'm going to write that down. Like I said, I don't know what I'm getting into. So, maybe. Lone Echo. VR guided meditation. Now that sounds like a really good idea there. Is that Zivali? I think that, yeah, right? VR guided meditation. Not medication, meditation. Of course, Beat Saber is, right, kind of the thing. Hey, Rambling Geek, good to see you. So, these are some things that I'm going to get it set up and I'm going to try a little bit later today. I am going to be running to the post office. I have some things I understand there that I need to pick up. And I have some things to ship out as well. I had to get, I hate doing this, but I have to get these stupid customs declaration notices here, because whenever I ship things overseas, I need to fill it out and tell the United States, yes, I'm shipping a backpack, or I'm shipping stickers. I'm filling out all this documentation to send stickers to somebody in Europe. Guided Tai Chi in VR. That's very cool. There's a mountain bike experience. Oh, that's neat. Get a fan in your melon and skydive VR. Oh, that's a great one. Oh, that's good. Well done. Yes. Yeah, I have to fill these out and get it shipped out. I'm looking forward to it. Giving it a try, see what's involved. It's gonna be neat. It's gonna be very cool. Thank you so much, everybody, for tuning in. Let me wrap up here, and let's, because I do have a couple things I need to get to today. So we updated the first module of our Asp Net Core Workshop, and this is a workshop that I'm going to try to give either next Friday or the Friday after. And I think it'll play well on either of those Fridays, because we have our .NET Conf Focus on Blazor event coming up on the 14th. I hope you tune in to us on that day. We'll be live from Redmond at Channel 9 Studios all day long. It's going to be a great event. But we'll do our Asp Net Core 3.1 workshop around there so that you can tune in and learn a little bit about Asp Net Core. It's my most popular video that I have on YouTube. I've been editing and sending some of my older videos out to YouTube. This one, like all my other videos, will end up on YouTube, so you can follow along and see what's happening, and we can learn more along the way. Boom boom. Yeah, indoor skydiving, I've done that at iFly is the name of the place near me that does that. Kabazi says, is it a good idea to remove all the files from the previous sample folder before pasting the new files in to make sure there's no file with another name that is not in the new sample? I did delete some of the files that should have been removed there. So yes, took care of that. Thanks so much, everybody, for joining us. Let me set up a raid here. Let's see who else is streaming, and we can send some of the love over there and help folks out. You know what? I thought I just saw. No. Speaking of, well, wait a sec. Oh! My gosh. Let's do this. Who should we raid? I want to go raid. Let's go raid another member of the Live Coders team. Yep, he is in English today. We're going to set up a raid to go over to Freeman. He's coding in JavaScript and TypeScript, a little bit of Node, building a game over there on his channel. He's another member of the Live Coders team. Where is it? Raid channel. Doing a little bit of TypeScript now. There we go. Come on. There he is. Thank you so much, everybody, for joining me. This was a lot of fun working through some Asp Net Core today. But I'll be back. We'll see if I'm back tomorrow. I'm not sure. I've got some things to do before we have a New Year's Eve party tomorrow. But keep an eye open on Twitter, and I'll let you know if I'm back. Say hello to Freeman for me. I will. I'll see you later this week. All right. Take care. That's not right. Wrong one. There we go.